Welcome to TCB. We're going to be recapping today WandaVision, and we also got possibly a couple trailers that we might show. I'm Ace Boogie. I got my co-host today, T Will. T Will, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I'm ready to talk about this episode here.
Let's get into it, bro. Like just your recap. I know that you took some notes and everything. What were your thoughts on WandaVision episode 7 and what kind of stuck out to you, and just where do you see this series moving forward, I guess?
First of all, this was a really great episode to me. I just like, first of all, Monica Rambeau is like really, really cool. Like she is really, really cool. I like how brave she is, and now of course, she got her powers. That's really, really cool. What else? Oh yeah, also, my favorite part, I guess it might be everybody's favorite part, was the reveal at the end, which was
Oh yeah.
which was pretty amazing. I feel like that might have been the best character reveal I've seen in a very long time. So shouts out to them for that. But I don't know. I think what we're pushing to is some crazy battle with like Vision, Wanda, Agatha, and and Monica.
So for those who haven't watched it yet, if you don't want any spoilers, please be sure to head off of this Twitter stream or whatever you're viewing, because we got a lot of viewers in here watching right now. So I'm gonna give you guys about 5 seconds to go ahead and leave, because we're gonna start getting into some of the spoilers. I know that some people haven't watched the episode yet, so we're gonna give you that time to leave now. All right. So I've given you the disclaimer. I've given you the fair warning. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. So as T Will is saying, we got Photon, right? And it was dope because as soon as we saw kind of her put on that suit, those colors, I was like, all right, yeah, it's about to happen. And we kind of got a hint at it on the last episode, because they were essentially like, hey, your DNA and your genetic makeup is changing, right? And she knew that. And she tries to get in this truck and essentially tries to enter into the hex, and it wasn't working, right? And so then she gets out, and then she just looks back at Mr. Wu, and she's like, nah, we got to go ahead and do what it is. And when she comes in, it's interesting because she isn't really rewritten, right? She kind of comes in that costume, and we kind of see her get her powers, and it was just super dope. Like the one thing that I wanted to see though was I wanted to see her and Wanda go at it. Like that it's coming, and they kind of have teased it. But I did like that, like you said, like seeing Monica Rambeau come in, seeing her get that evolution in the story and that reveal. That was dope. And then, like you said, they also revealed who we've been kind of speculating is one of the villains in the show with Agatha Harkness. Like we knew something was off with her, and they really threw us off. And I think you called it on the last episode, because you were like, nah, I think she's faking. Like, because Vision encountered her in the last episode, and she tried to act like, she knew nothing about it and all of this stuff. And then it's revealed in this episode, nah, I do know what's going on. So the one thing that I thought that we were going to get this episode, and I think that we're still going to get, and one thing that I picked up on is the theme of this, and I'm sure you did. The theme of this episode in terms of the sitcom was clearly The Office, right? Like with the angles and stuff like that. And so that almost made me feel like, because we already know dude that plays on The Office has been casted as Mr. Fantastic. That almost made me wonder, like, okay, are they kind of dropping hints that he's coming? I was thinking he was going to come on this episode, because when we saw that theme, like last thing was Malcolm in the Middle, right? No notable actors really tied to this project, but it's like you're going to drop the Office theme, and the guy that was on The Office is Mr. Fantastic. So I was thinking he was going to show up on this episode, but apparently I think that could still be a reveal later, because they talked about a possible aerospace engineer, her meeting up with them. Now, I don't know if that aerospace engineer is in the Hex now that it's been extended, if he's going to show up or how that's going to work. But I think, like you said, it was just overall a great episode. And the one thing is, like you said, Agatha, it's been Agatha all along, right? She's pulling the strings and this and that. I wonder which string she's actually been pulling though, because it's like, is she controlling Wanda? So like Wanda doesn't, is she under some kind of spell? Or is she just rolling everything and Wanda's cool with it? Like, is she controlling Wanda? What did you get from that?
I mean, at the end of the episode, I felt like she was controlling Wanda as far as like, I guess she put her under her spell. But I think what really was going on was like Agatha was controlling people within this world that Wanda had created.
Okay.
And, you know, like when people did things or whatever, Wanda thought that she had control of them, you know, because she was, I guess she was kind of cocky and wasn't really paying attention. But then, and I think Agatha kind of used that against her in certain ways to kind of pop, you know, certain things up and trick Vision and all that stuff like that. So I kind of feel like, you know, it's Wanda has, I guess, Westview under her control, but
Right.
Agatha is just moving small little pieces here and there to make certain reactions happen out of Wanda or out of Vision or even out of the kids.
Right. So you talked about one thing right there, the kids. Where are the kids at, bro? Because like we didn't see them. Like they disappeared. They went with Agatha to kind of get babysat, which that occurs in the comics, which we heard like sometimes she's actually watched her kids and stuff like that. But where are the kids at, bro? Like they disappeared. Like
Man,
that was kind of weird.
I don't know. I don't know if like Agatha is, you know, trying to get to their powers. Is she trying to get to Wanda's powers? I don't know. So that's kind of weird. And what also is kind of weird to me is like, I don't know. It feels like Agatha and Hayward, which I know is not possible, but it feels like they're working together almost.
Okay, yeah, that was another big reveal too, kind of on the last episode. And this episode was Hayward is trying to get Vision. He's trying to get his hands on
Yeah.
Vision, to use him as a weapon, which makes sense because doing my MCU review on what was going on, Vision actually was kind of like a huge weapon that Tony created to protect the rest of society, right? And I almost forgot that, like, because I just think about Vision and the Avengers, him getting killed, and I kind of forgot the whole reason that he was generally created. So it kind of makes sense why Hayward would want him because Vision was key to kind of protecting society moving forward. So he's already tried to recreate him. The thing is, though, we are also getting hints that this may not be the same Vision. So we still don't understand how he's in this reality, why he has no kind of memory or past memory about the Avengers or anything before coming into there. So he had said something like it's almost like I'm somebody else in this body, which I think was kind of like like, okay, so this might not be our Vision. Where's the real Vision's body at? Obviously, this Vision can't break and come out of the hex, or else he starts to damage himself. So if Hayward knows that, what is it like? Maybe it's like you're saying, maybe it's him and Agatha working together in some kind of way to make it so that Vision can exist outside of there. And I almost wonder, like, are they going to try to bring Vision back this way because he can't survive without the Mind Stone? Are they going to find a way for him to survive without the Mind Stone and bring him back into this current reality?
I think that what they're going to try to do is use Wanda's powers to kind of keep him alive or in some form that way.
Right.
It's just kind of weird. Like, you know, like I don't know if we're going to get, you know, Vision outside of the hex. I know that, you know, some of the actors have hinted to it ending sad. So it's like, you know, does that mean like we don't get Vision anymore? Like, I like Vision, you know?
I think we all like Vision, but I don't know. Some people you just got to leave dead, bro. But the only the only thing is, like, okay, the one thing that I was thinking of, if Vision is gonna be dead, right? Like, how do they do a WandaVision season 2 if Vision is dead?
Right. And then like what would WandaVision be without having Vision? And then it's like, how does that play with like the rest of, you know, phase 4? As far as like, are they gonna drop another one where it's just like, okay, just real time, real stuff happening, like current events? I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So before we get out of this and get into some trailer stuff, was there anything that you wanted to talk about, like in terms of guesses for what can happen on the next episode, or any theories that you currently have on WandaVision that could be revealed later?
Honestly, the John Krasinski possibility of him showing up is Dr. Reed. I'm kind of looking forward to that. And I honestly think it's almost like they're almost like telling us at this point that we want to get Doctor Strange at some point.
Yeah, and it seems like that's not a secret, right? So we still haven't gotten that cameo that they've been talking about. So it's gonna be interesting to see when that person comes in. But we got another treat coming. Obviously, we got some other stuff coming through. So we're gonna take a look at this Mortal Kombat Red Band trailer. So if you are a kid or something like that, you might want to exit now, because it's going to be pretty mature. It's going to be a lot of, it's going to be Mortal Kombat. Let's just be real. We all know about Mortal Kombat. Growing up, it is what it is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
First learned about this 7 years ago on a mission in Brazil.
That looks like Jax, aka Steve Harvey. Whoo.
Oh, that's nice.
Sub-Zero.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay, Jack's origin story. His arms.
There goes the arms.
Marking, you do, Cole. It's a birthmark.
What do you mean? Who's this guy?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Means you've been chosen.
Throughout history, different
Katana
cultures all over the
looks
world
like.
reference a great tournament.
Okay. Sonya Blade.
Champions. That dragon marking? I think it's an invitation.
Is that Shang Tsung?
Might be Scorpion.
Oh, that is Scorpion. You right.
Woo!
As Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah. That's got to be Liu Kang out there.
That's Kano.
Kano with the.
Thanks, Josh.
Of course.
Kung Lao.
Ooh, they putting Kung Lao in this one.
Raiden look raw.
Is in our hands.
Raiden.
No matter
Scorpion.
how many of my people we put in the ground.
Ooh,
We will not fail.
Lana.
Kill them.
Bro. Goro.
That's cold.
Sub-Zero.
Oh.
Oh.
Bro.
That man, bro. Okay.
Sign me up, bro. Sign me up right now. Take my money.
Ooh.
Oh.
Kano wins. You fucking beauty.
Bro.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we get a good plot with this one, but the outfits and the special effects, I'm liking it.
Yeah, I would say this. It's funny because when they announced that this was coming, I went back because my wife had never seen the original one, which is funny because it was the 90s one. Everybody kills the 90s one. I'm gonna say this. The 90s one wasn't that bad, bro. Like when you think about like the time that it came out, 90s, it wasn't as bad as like Super Mario Brothers, Street Fighter. Like it wasn't that bad. Like honestly, outside of like Raiden was kind of weird because that whole character casting for Raiden was weird. But literally everything else, like if you were to say I'm gonna make a Mortal Kombat movie, like it kind of was spot on in terms of like the story, in terms of how the characters were, like it pretty much was like that. Like sometimes you get these movies and you're like, nah, that's not Mortal Kombat, right? Like I think of the Street Fighter, like you can look at all the Street Fighter movies, really. So you look at the first Street Fighter movie, even the Street Fighter movie that came out in like the 2000s, bro. Like it was based around Chun-Li, and people were like, why are you basing this around Chun-Li? It wasn't like that. So it's dope that they're finally revisiting this, and it's dope to see them like kind of bring somewhat, like you said, you hit on something there. You said the story arc. You hope that the story arc is good. So I think that this story arc is going to be interesting, because when I watched the first movie, it was like Kung Lao had actually fought in the first Mortal Kombat tournament and won, and Shang Tsung kind of tricked him and killed him. And then Liu Kang was like a descendant or something like from him, and kind of followed up and came after that. And like this one, they're both in it. So I think that part of it is kind of dope. It seemed like, I don't know if they really showed Shang Tsung. I didn't see Shang Tsung in this one. Did you see him?
I think he was at the very end. I think he was the one that said finish him.
Okay, cool. I'm down to see Shang Tsung steal somebody's souls for sure.
Now my one guy in the beginning that had the tattoo,
right?
The marking on the shoulder,
right?
Like he's not a Mortal Kombat character. So it's like, are we gonna find out? Like, are we gonna get something new from him, or is he just like somebody that? Okay, so like, you know how sometimes they'll put like a character in a movie or a situation or whatever, right, and they'll be like teaching that character, you know, about whatever's going on, and right, that character is pretty much just the audience,
right?
Like
you're wondering, is that what that dude is gonna be?
Yeah, like is that what he's gonna be?
Yeah, because I'm looking up let's look at who he is. Is he supposed Cole Young? I don't know who Cole Young is. Yeah, he's Cole Young. So I mean, now maybe I haven't kept up. I did play the last Mortal Kombat video game, and it kind of gave me some perspective. But I think, like you said, who is Cole Young? He's not a character that we know, right? And there's theories, like you're saying, on him and who he could be. Some theories out here that I'm saying is that he's Scorpion reborn. That's kind of interesting. That's a kind of interesting theory. The other thing is they also have a pretty dope animated film out that's called like Scorpion's Revenge that I started. I still got to finish it, but it kind of shows like where the beef between Scorpion and Sub-Zero kind of started at. Like, because you know Sub-Zero killed like most of his clan, but primarily his wife and his child, right? So it's crazy because when I played the game, I never knew that. I was on the Sub-Zero side. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was on the Sub-Zero side, and I was like, he looks cooler. He throws out the freeze and stuff. And then I kind of learned his backstory, and I was like, whoa, bro, you kind of savage. Like you kind of just killed this man's family, and it's like Scorpion kind of has a reason. He's kind of validated on wanting to kill you. And like essentially what happened, because we know Scorpion is kind of like dead but still alive, like he came back from hell. And I think in that story it talks about how he goes and makes a deal with the devil essentially to come back and get revenge against Sub-Zero. So I'm wondering, like you said, Cole Young, we don't know who he is, where has he come from? He has that marking. Is that marking going to be a part of the clan and stuff like that? The other thing too is Sub-Zero and Scorpion, like in that old 90s movie, they kind of teamed up, but they gave a reason why. They said that Shang Tsung was controlling their minds to have him work as his minions in that movie. I'm wondering how it's going to fit in this movie, because like Scorpion don't care about no tournament, bro. Like Scorpion just wants to kill Sub-Zero. He just wants his revenge. So it'll be interesting to see, like, is that going to be a subplot to this movie, or how they're going to, I guess, essentially be involved in this tournament? Are they just going to join this tournament because they want to kill each other, or what? And Sub-Zero never has really been on Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Johnny Cage's side outside of like the second movie which they brought him in as kind of, but that's like the Sub-Zero. That's like the son of Sub-Zero. So it's not the original Sub-Zero. It seems like to me we're getting OG Sub-Zero. This isn't Sub-Zero without his mask or anything like that. So that was just pretty dope to me. I'm definitely looking forward to this. I'm definitely gonna be watching it for sure.
Definitely, and I want to know if we're going to lead. Is this going to lead to like a series? You know, are we going to get a sequel or 2 sequels, or is this going to be a trilogy? You know, something like that. So, you know, hopefully they do a good job with this one to where I want a sequel.
Nah, I'm with you on that. I think there was there a Loki announcement or anything this week? I think that might have been it. I think one thing we didn't talk about in the WandaVision is that Pietro. Who is that? He shows up mid-credit scene. Is he Nightmare? Is he Mephisto? Who are your theories on?
I think it's Pietro. Now I'm like torn between like two.
Is it Peter or is it Pietro? Which one is it? Because he was called Peter in the Fox version.
I mean, it might be Peter, but like, is he under Agatha's control still? Because I didn't see like no purple on him. I didn't see his eyes purple or nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, or is she like approaching Monica like, hey, she got my sister, she got my nephews, like let's get her.
It was weird because he was gone, and she was like, "That's not your uncle." So she's saying that that's not him. I think he's I think he's got to be the second big bad in here. So some people have theorized that either Mephisto or Nightmare are switching bodies throughout different characters. And somebody theorized that that's why he jumped out of someone's body and into her brother's body to kind of throw any kind of concerns or red flags off and like kind of take the heat off of the prior character and move into another body. I think there's something off with him, bro. He knew too much because he knew that Vision. He was like, Vision is going to die again. Like, it's somebody that is well aware of what has a Wanda's history. And for me, for him to know the things that he knows, he's had to either been working in cahoots with Wanda, or it has to be somebody that like has been able to access Wanda's memories or play with her brain in some kind of form or fashion. So I think he's in on it. I think he might be in on it.
It's just weird right now as far as like, because like right now I don't know who's good and bad, like except for Agatha.
Right. It's really hard to say right now. Like Wanda has even been kind of pictured as like the villain and positioned as the villain as well. So we'll have to see. But we got 2 episodes left?
Man, that's it. Hopefully they give us some hour episodes, man. Stop playing.
They claim that we're gonna know the direction of the MCU and where it's going after these 2 episodes. We know Doctor Strange is showing up. We know that this is connected to the Multiverse of Madness. Also been rumored to be connected to Spider-Man 3. So we're gonna get some big reveals. We need some of these reveals that they've been talking about.
Yeah, when is the drop for Multiverse of Madness?
Multiverse of Madness, I'm not exactly sure on. I can look that up. Doctor Strange 2. Because we fighting COVID and stuff right now. It looks like it's March 25th, 2022, which is a long way from now. That is a very long time from now. So I think we're gonna get WandaVision, then we're gonna get Bucky and Falcon, their show, and then I think we're gonna get Loki. And then I'm thinking that maybe that's gonna hold us over. I need to see when Spider-Man 3 is too, because I think Spider-Man 3 is filming now. So Spider-Man 3, yeah, we don't want to see the old one with Tobey Maguire. Spider-Man 3 is coming December 17th, 2021. That's coming first before Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, bro. I think Spider-Man could be the reveal. I'm just gonna jump out there and say I think it's a Spider-Man cameo that's gonna happen at the end of this. Somehow, I think we're gonna get Fantastic Four. I think we're gonna get Doctor Strange. But if that Spider-Man movie is coming out in December, I think that we have to have some kind of connection to that if they are gonna do the rumored thing of bringing all of the Spider-Man into the universe, I think it may be Spider-Man showing up. Which one? I think it's probably Tobey Maguire. I'm gonna stick to that.
For the impact, it's got to be Toby. Like nobody really remembers that other guy.
Yeah, nobody remembers Andrew Garfield like that.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know his name.
I remember him more from The Social Network than Spider-Man for sure. But that is gonna wrap up the show. T. Will, did you have anything that you wanted to say?
Nah, man. Thank y'all for joining us, and hopefully, next week we'll be on the same thing.
Yeah, so if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe. We're going to come to and drop all kinds of content and videos all the time. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like, share it, and we appreciate you. This is TCB.